everyone, welcome back to Jane's On Point. I'm Jane. Today we're talking about gifts for the flight crew. Recently I saw a post on Facebook in one of my groups about whether it was appropriate or not to bring a gift for your flight crew. And while most people said they've never done it, a few people said yes, they have. But usually on a higher end flight, when you're flying first class, long haul flights, and you're really appreciative of that excellent service that you're getting. Well, we frequently fly between Cancun and Chicago on Southwest Airlines. So first class, long haul flights are not the most flights that we take per year. We generally fly these short flights to Chicago 3 or 4 times a year. After 6 years of doing this, you kind of get a little comfortable with the whole system that Southwest has going, and you become more appreciative of what they do on a day-by-day basis. So on one of our most recent flights, which was at Christmas time from Cancun to Chicago, we decided to try this out, and we brought a little gift for the flight crew. Now, while it's not common practice, there are a few rules or regulations you should keep in mind when bringing a gift on board for the crew. Flight attendants and pilots often appreciate those little things and don't expect them at all. But things that you might want to keep in mind: security and regulations. I personally did not wrap the gift. I wanted them to know what it was when I handed it to them, and it was a small box of chocolates, and they could easily see that that's in fact what was in the box. Also, appropriateness. Make sure you bring something that is easily shared among the whole crew. For example, I brought a box of, I think, 12 chocolates, and there's generally not more than 5 or 6 crew on this particular flight. So I thought that was enough for all of them to share. And it doesn't hurt to include a thank you note. For example, we flew back on New Year's Day and it was a holiday. So my note included a thank you for working the holidays, and we know what it must be like not to be with your family and friends on the holiday. And just let them know how much we all appreciated it. Now, when you're giving the gift, make sure your timing is right. I wouldn't do it right as I'm boarding, only because they're trying to get everyone in, and then right after you board, they're giving the whole safety speech. I would wait until the first round of refreshments are served. That way they're not busy, they don't have things in their hand, they're not trying to juggle glasses and cans and snacks and all of that. Now, all that being said, this was our first time presenting them with a gift, and we were a little unsure, almost a little nervous, like, how do we do this without seeming weird? So when she came around asking if we would like a second drink, we said sure, and we gave her the gift. She took it, not really realizing what it was, and walked away. And my husband and I looked at each other like, okay, that's kind of weird. Well, then about 5 minutes later, she came back laughing hysterically, hadn't known what we handed her, got up there, read the note, saw the gift, and was ecstatic. She called all the flight crew over to our seats. They all thanked us. And when we left that flight, they even gave us a thank you card signed by the entire crew. Now, needless to say, we had an amazing flight. And no, they did not give us a bill for our cocktails at the end of the flight. And we had such a good time getting to know the staff, chatting, standing up in the galley without getting yelled at to get back to my seat because you can't linger up by the door. It was a lot of fun. The flight attendants were so funny. They even made a request for the next flight and requested some Snickers and some Twizzlers. Apparently the box of chocolates that we brought were not their favorite. So now I'll get some Snickers and I'll get some Twizzlers, and I'll make sure I have them in my bag for the next flight onto Chicago. Now, all that being said, you do not have to take gifts to your flight crew, but it is kind of fun to mix things up a little bit. The one thing that you can really do to show your appreciation for what they do for us every day is to just be kind, courteous, nice, and respectful. I think that goes a long way, and that's probably the best gift anyone could give to that crew. Now, if you are considering giving a gift, keep it simple and keep it small to make sure it's well received and appreciated. I'd like to know if you've ever done this. Leave a note in the comments below and let me know if you've tried it or if you're going to try it. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Now, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and have happy travels. Thanks.